talking about the three magic pillars. The magic pillars, the pillars that every wellness practitioner, really, even if you're not a wellness practitioner, these are the pillars that need to be discovered for all of us, whether we're trying to succeed in our marriage, or we're trying to succeed in our practice, or we're trying to succeed with our health goals, all of it. These are the pillars that we need to live by, that we need to be committed to. You're going to understand in a hot minute. So I'm also going to tell you that if you're watching me on YouTube, please hit the bell and follow me so that you get an alert whenever I go live, because as you know, I'm dishing out good stuff. Okay, let's get into it. So yesterday I had a call with one of my mentors. I use a lot of guides to help me orchestrate this whole staffless practice world. And a lot, I often say, I talk about staffless practice as a we, but it's really me that's creating this content and giving it to you. Yes, of course, I have a right hand and a left hand who makes all of the I's dotted and T's crossed. But when I talk about we, I'm talking about when I wake up in the morning, first thing in the morning, I have fresh ideas. I have ideas that require a lot of pen to paper, okay? Those ideas are coming from something outside of myself. And whether you believe in this or that or the other thing, know that I'm working with those things. And whatever those things are, whatever is greater than me, is the we when I talk about we in staffless practice. So I had a meeting with one of my mentors yesterday, and we were talking about the main pillars of success. And because I'm studying this stuff with you, I'm in practice. I'm going to my office in a couple of hours to serve great chiropractic care. I'm constantly trying to figure this out, right? And the only things that I put in front of you are the things that I really have tried and seen tried and true, that I've put to work, that I've honed in on, that I've perfected. So let's get into the three magic pillars, because they are the aha moments, the light bulb moments that were going off during this call yesterday. Completely rocked my world, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So, I happen to be a Deadhead, okay? Love the Grateful Dead. And Jerry sings a song about you can tell somebody's future by looking at what's in their hands. And I always remember that. Like if I'm walking down the street eating an ice cream cone, chances are you can pretty much tell my future by looking at what's in my hands. If I'm eating the ice cream cone, you can pretty much make a prediction about my future. If I'm smoking a cigarette, you can pretty much tell my future by looking at what's in my hands. If I'm journaling, if I'm working out, if I'm getting adjusted, if I'm getting body work, if I'm going to PT, if I'm doing all of the things that I know I need to do, all of my anchors and rituals, for those of you who have been in my world for a hot minute, you know what that means. Then you can tell what my future, for the most part, you can make assumptions about my future. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because the three magic pillars, look at what you're already doing, so that you can tell more about how you relate and how your practice relates to the pillars. So the first pillar, conviction. What are you convicted to? When you wake up in the morning, when you have those first morning thoughts, what are they about? What are you convicted to? What are you attached to? What do you want to see happen? What's the future? What's the trajectory of your practice? Of the health of your family, of the health of yourself? What message are you putting out there? How are you taking action on what your goals are? That's your conviction. What are you convicted to? One of the main pillars. Number 2, trust. What do you trust? What do you know for sure? What do you know beyond a measure of a doubt that you know that you know that you know? What do you trust? How does trust show up in your life? How does trust show up in your practice? We're doing a deep dive right now in the masterclass. And if you want to grab the first lesson of the masterclass, which is all about creating your perfect practice member, just grab the link in the description of this video. We're talking about perfect practice member, and one of the students that are in the masterclass was talking about how she's hit her head against the wall for so many years trying to figure out her perfect practice member. She gets so frustrated about it. She is losing patience with it. She doesn't trust the process of it. And I said to her, Mary, do you realize that you just described your perfect practice member? Your perfect practice member in general is you 3 to 5 years ago. And we talk about this so much in the Staffless Practice community, because if you know your perfect practice member, you know how to create the systems and policies for your perfect practice member. You know how to create the celebrations for your especially if you got the Joy-Filled Practice Plan, okay? So what does your perfect practice member trust? What do you trust, and what are you convicted to? That's number 1 and number 2. Number 3, can anybody guess what it is? Intention. Intention is a big one. It's loaded. It's loaded because if my intentions are coming from the wrong place, I'm missing the point. You get that, right? If my intentions are about greed or jealousy or mistrust or I want more yesterday, I'm coming from the wrong place. If I'm convicted to my truth, my core values, if I'm in a place of trust, if my intentions are to support my core values and make a difference in this very messed up world right now, by giving great care, by taking my hands and being a conduit, or by creating a magical bridge for the people of this community to, here's what I do, okay? Here's what I do in this group, in this community, wherever you're watching me. I help the people who are trying to serve great care, serve more or earn more and work less. I help those people in the wellness world discover the systems and procedures, the celebrations and habits that need to be implemented to get this stuff to these people. Okay, these people are your perfect practice members. This stuff is really great care. I create the bridge. All of the tools that I'm offering to you guys creates the bridge. We create the bridge. You get that, right? Okay, start with your perfect practice member. It's a great place to start. I get the question all the time, Jody, where do I start? There's so much that you're offering. There's so much that you're talking about. Where do I start? You start with your perfect practice member. Who is she or he? My perfect practice member is the 30-something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. I know that that's who my perfect practice member is because I've done the opposite of that. I've gone into practice not knowing that. And I've made the mistakes that result in not knowing that. I've tried to serve the wrong people. I've tried to fit into skin that's not mine. I've tried to be coached by amazing coaches who don't get what I'm trying to do because I didn't get what I was trying to do. You got to start with these 3 things. What are you convicted to? What are you trusting? Or what makes you trustworthy, however that word shows up for you? And what are your intentions? Write these words down, you guys. Conviction, trust, intention. Today I posted in our big Facebook group for staffless practitioners. I posted a, you know what I'm going to do? It's just going to take me a hot minute. I'm going to go ahead and drop it here. I posted a card that said these 3 words because I'm so moved by them, okay? And the goal is, and here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this card and I want you to screenshot it. I'm going to put it right here. You ready? Okay. Conviction, trust, intention. I am that I am that I am. Okay? So take this. And if you're not already in our Facebook group, you guys, what are you waiting for? You're going to join our Facebook group right here. And once you get into the Facebook group, you're going to take the image that I just shared with you. You're going to take this image. Okay, let me just make it a little bit smaller. And you're going to print it. And you're going to put it on your computer screen or just take a snapshot of it, whatever you got to do. If you need to know how to do a snapshot, you just hit Command Shift and 4 on your keyboard and you just screenshot it. This is the stuff that matters. This is the stuff that gets you out of bed in the morning. This is the stuff that makes you feel like you're not so alone in practice. There's nothing worse than feeling alone in practice. There's nothing worse. What are they doing that I can't figure out? I would just sit there and scratch my head. I couldn't figure it out. And what they were doing is they were convicted to their truth. They were trusting their process and their intentions were in the right place. My truth, okay, is that I don't want to have a practice with staff in it. I just don't. I didn't like it. I couldn't figure it out no matter what I tried to do. My truth is that I am a before, during, and after baby chiropractor. It's what I do. It's what I'm great at. It's what I love to do. And yes, their grandparents come in, and yes, their moms and their dads come in, but my whole practice is set up for them because that's my truth. What's your truth? Ask the hard questions now. Set the stage now. I don't mean to sound like a you-know-what, but I'm fired up today. Because here's the deal. You turn on the TV or don't turn on the TV. You put any news channel on, they're going to scare the crap out of you. They're going to tell you how sick we're going to get and how toxic we are and how everything's going to end tomorrow. That's the message that's being given. Guess what message we need to make even louder? Your body is brilliant. You deserve great service. You deserve great care. I had a practice member, I'm going to end on this because this is really important. And again, I'm going to say in the description of this video, you're going to find a link to learn who your perfect practice member is. Take advantage of it. It's free. I had a practice member come in yesterday, and she's somebody who watches the news and listens to the messaging, okay? And she said to me, my neck is a nightmare. My neck is a nightmare. This nightmare neck, this is how she's talking about her neck. And the first thing I said to her is, don't talk about my friend like that. The second thing I said to her is, tell me more about the symptoms or the signals. Symptoms equals signals equals symptoms equals signals that your neck is giving you. Let's dive into it. Let's make sense of it. And together we made sense of it. So that the words change, so that the actions change, so that the awareness change, so that her life changes, so that the people who are in her life are affected by that change, so that those people are affected by more change. And it makes the world a better place. It starts with what we're convicted to, what we're trusting, and where our intentions are. Okay, I'm loving you guys from here. Make today count.